How are you guys doing? I am fine. We are on Monday, and we are back. Hake is back. I missed a few days over there, a couple days. Thursday and Friday, I skipped. This is Monday. It's February 28th, 2022 AD. Anno Domini, the last day of Black History Month. And I'm back from AFPAC III. I'm going to tell you about it. And also the Ukraine mess. I may touch on that a little bit. There's some fallout, actually, from AFPAC III. There were some actual politicians who joined AFPAC, and one of them has been in the forefront a bit, and she was smeared by the mainstream media and the phony RINOs. Not smeared by Trump, notably. Very cool. And there's a lot of solidarity with Ukraine and another mess. And your calls. Looking forward to talking with you again. It's been a little while. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. We are back. I skipped the show on Thursday and Friday, February 24th and 25th for AFPAC III. I'll tell you about it in a bit. But, you know, with all the news going on in the world, I wanted to talk just briefly, a little bit, at least at first here, about Russia. Russia. I was thinking about the Ukraine situation and how everybody's like, oh, Putin is the worst. And everybody's overreacting because over at AFPAC III, there were cheers for Russia. And it was a little tongue-in-cheek, but it was fun. And I thought back to all this phony melodrama by the establishment who are not honest or decent people, and I'll get into that, about Russia and Putin. And one of the journalists whom I kind of like, Bill O'Reilly, remember him? The boomer from Fox News. He was the O'Reilly factor, the no spin zone. Well, he got a lack of spin from Donald J. Trump a few years ago, back in February 2017, and I thought I would share this clip. This is from France 24 YouTube. It was from, purportedly, I guess, from Bill O'Reilly's interview with the president, Donald J. Trump, on Super Bowl Sunday, I guess. This was after, a month into his office? A month in office? Donald J. Trump? Or less? Less than a month, really. A few weeks. A couple weeks. Because he took office in January 20th, 2017. And this is February 6th, 2017. Bill O'Reilly of Fox News asks Trump about Putin. Putin, I guess is how it's pronounced, right? Listen to this and hear a little bit of clarity. Here's Trump.
Do you respect Putin?
I do respect him.
Do you? Why?
Well, I respect a lot of people, but that doesn't mean I'm going to get along with him. He's a leader of his country. I say it's better to get along with Russia than not. And if Russia helps us in the fight against ISIS, which is a major fight, and Islamic terrorism all over the world,
right,
major fight, that's a good thing. Will I get along with him? I have no idea. It's very
He's a
possible
killer,
I
though.
won't.
Putin's a killer.
A lot of killers. We got a lot of killers. Why, you think our country's so innocent?
Yep. A lot of killers. You think our country's so innocent? Our country is not so innocent. Not when we have phonies like Obama, Clinton, Biden, who else? Many others before that, before my time. There were very much non-innocent things. I heard that there were some not so innocent things done even under Reagan and Bush. Both Bushes. Very true. Very true. And it's just a matter, it seems to me that it's a matter of propaganda about, oh, Putin is so evil. He's mad. And maybe he is mad. Maybe he is gone crazy. But they are not exactly sane themselves. They're pushing this globo-homo stuff. The UN, the EU, all these people who are acting out against Russia. They're not pushing stuff that's good. They're pushing to fly the gay pride flag at embassies around the world. Even to this day, in like Brazil or something, they pushed the Black Lives Matter flag. Just recently. To this day. The so-called American embassy. What a terrible shame. What an embarrassment. By the way, where is ISIS now? He mentioned ISIS. Is Biden building it back better? Is Sleepy Joe going to build ISIS back better? Because I think that ISIS built up under the Obama administration and Hillary Clinton, when Hillary Clinton was the so-called Secretary of State. What's up with our secretaries of state? There are some of the lamest people. We had Hillary Clinton. We had John Kerry, that guy who's like tall and wooden and weird looking. We had Mike Pompeo. I'm going to get to him. I kind of liked him at times because he's, supposedly Christian friendly, except not friendly to white Christians who don't hate whites sufficiently. Mike Pompeo, what's up with you? I'm going to talk about him. But ISIS, as Trump said, by the way, I'm wearing a t-shirt from the J.C. Lee Peterson Teespring store. Well, it's no longer on the Teespring store. You got to get it on Spreadshirt. Rebuildingtheman.com/stores. The Great White Hope. It has a picture of the Twitter profile pic of Donald J. Trump. This was an early design. But Trump said that Obama and Hillary Clinton were the co-founders of ISIS. That's how much involvement they had. I think that they were arming ISIS, sending money maybe or guns or something to ISIS to fight against something else. Huh. And we got a lot of killers. A lot of evil attacks on the innocent American people by this same establishment that is acting like they're so appalled at the actions of Putin moving in, like the good old-fashioned days of imperialism, or whatever you want to call it. Good old-fashioned days of people forcefully taking over the country like men, like civilized men. Not this girly stuff of, oh, we're going to sanction you unless you support the LGBTIQ woman's agenda. Give me a break. Yeah, I heard that Israel was supporting ISIS too, because ISIS was really killing Muslims. And then they were cutting the heads off of different Westerners. Japanese, Americans, British. Terrible. And burning them alive. ISIS was doing some horrific things. I heard that they got some of their... I heard some of these Muslim radicals got their motivation or inspiration on their torturous... and brutal, killings, executions, public executions put out on the mainstream media. Not necessarily the mainstream media, but put out online from the Mexican drug cartels that were doing horrific things, taking chainsaws to people. Horrific. So anyway, by the way, this Ukraine hype, they have is this guy Ukrainian? Because I heard that he's a Jewish comedian actor running the country. Volodymyr Zelensky. And he's acting tough, which, I don't know, I can appreciate that, I guess, if it's true. staying in this country. Unlike, there was another guy who got ousted from his own country pretty recently, right? And he ran away. He actually ran away. Afghanistan. That guy ran. I guess the Taliban are a little bit different from the Russians. So maybe Zelensky isn't in the danger that he claims to be in. I don't know. It's hard to know what the truth is. But Volodymyr Zelensky is the guy who's, according to what I read, he was a comedian and an actor and this Jewish guy. Is Ukraine a Christian country? A son of Jewish parents. And he was an actor, voiced Paddington Bear. He was the voice for that cartoon character, Paddington Bear. Or it was a book, really. I read it as a book. He was on Dancing with the Stars, the Ukraine's version anyway. And he played a history teacher who accidentally became president of Ukraine, called Servant of the People TV show. And then he ran, and he got 73% of the vote? Wow. Is that true? Is that real? Don't know. Other people say that he is basically, I heard Tucker Carlson say that this is a client state of America. Ukraine is. Hard to know what's going on. We shall see if we, meaning the establishment, sucks us into another war. I saw all these worldwide protests in solidarity with Ukraine. Worldwide protests. And there were some protests even in Moscow, right? And mostly what I saw was women. I saw women protesting. And then the cops going in and trying to keep some order. Why is it the women are at the forefront of this stuff? By the way, tomorrow is the first day of Women's History Month. Did you know that? Apple so-called calendar is sure to remind me of that because nobody knows about it, so they have to force it on you. They have to force it on you. So ridiculous. Women, are they ever on the side of what's right? I know that they've put women at the forefront of the March for Life type stuff, which, in my opinion, that's not a good thing. They've ended up doing it wrong. They've propped up women who've had children out of wedlock, females who've had children out of wedlock in high school, and they didn't get to walk because they had sex out of wedlock. You have sex out of wedlock at a Christian school, you don't get to walk. You don't get to graduate with honors at this ceremony thing. And the females who are the female pro-life women opposed Trump. The pro-life women wanted to prop up this girl. Oh, at least she doesn't get an abortion. Such low standards. Typical women. They're not for what's right. So lame. So yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen, with the exception of very few, women standing for what's right. We'll talk about Marjorie Greene. She seems to be trying to push for what's right, and I appreciate that. That's nice. Very nice. I'm going to talk about AFPAC III, America First Political Action Conference, the 3rd annual. I went, and I have good things to report about it, including even about some of the controversial things that happened. But first, let me get to a call or two, guys. William in Kansas City, Missouri is on the line. William, how are you doing?
I'm good, Nick.
You're good, Nick?
I say it's Nick or Jake? It's Jake, isn't it?
Jake? I'll take Jake. Yeah, Jake Hake. This is James.
Okay, Jake Hake. That's what I thought it was.
It's James, but I'll take Jake. I don't mind. You're black.
Okay, I had a question for you.
Are you on a speakerphone or something?
Hold a minute. I might be. Let's see.
All right. I appreciate it. He's old, guys. Older.
How's that better?
That sounds better. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. The question I had is, what constitutes a child being born out of wedlock?
When a child is born...
what constitutes a child being born out of wedlock?
A child is born out of wedlock when his parents aren't married. When his mother is not married.
When the mother's not married.
Yep.
Okay.
Then he's born out of wedlock.
Let me give you an example, and let me see does this work. Some people think it works.
Okay.
I don't, but let's say, for instance, a woman gets pregnant by one man and marry another man before the child is born.
Yeah.
Will the child still be born out of wedlock?
I don't think that he's born out of wedlock by that point. It's not a good situation. That's for sure. But it's not born out of wedlock.
You don't think so?
No, he's not born out of wedlock by that point.
Yes, he is.
He was conceived out of wedlock.
The sin is already committed, so you can't turn around and correct it by marrying another man.
It doesn't say it's a sin. It's wrong. The wrong was already committed, but he's still not born out of wedlock. He was conceived out of wedlock.
Same thing.
No, it's not. It's different.
If you conceive out of wedlock, you're born out of wedlock.
Not true.
You can't have it both ways.
There's a difference between being born and being conceived. You were conceived 9 months before you were born. A lot can happen in 9 months.
I'm not going to argue with you about it. Just look it up.
I don't have to look it up. Common sense says that you're conceived out of wedlock doesn't mean you're born out of wedlock. Being conceived out of wedlock is also wrong, though. Having sex out of wedlock is also wrong. True.
Yes. Is it a sin?
So what's your point? No, it's not a sin. It's wrong, though.
That was my point right there.
What was your point?
What I was saying, I'm saying that
you're saying it's still
born out of wedlock.
You're saying the wrong was already done.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. That was my question right there. And also.
And what's your point? And what is your motivation for asking that question?
Because I want to know, because I got into a discussion with someone about that, and that's why I asked you. You the expert.
Nice. Yeah. Then how come you're acting like
How come you're acting like you already know? I wanted your opinion.
Yeah.
I wanted your opinion.
Yeah.
I wanted your opinion. And another thing, man, I'm really sick and tired of hearing these grown men and you all misleading these grown men, telling them, that they mother their problem and they need to forgive their mother before they can go on with life and all that. That is so stupid.
Oh,
that is dumb.
The truth is stupid? The truth is stupid to those who hate the truth.
No, that is dumb because let me tell you something,
God's wisdom is foolishness to men who think that they're wise.
Man, I left home when I was 17. When I was 17, and I never went back.
That's wonderful.
Never took a dime from the government. Never received a food stamp. Never received no welfare.
Did you ever vote for a Democrat?
Up until the day, I voted for Democrats.
See, then you're no better than any of those people that you're judging.
Still, I never whined and went on about, my mother did this with me and my mother did that to me. I can't make it because my mother. A real man don't do that.
What do you know what a real man is?
Once you get grown, you got your own responsibility. I ain't worried about what my mother did, my father did.
Then how come you act just like your mother still to this day?
So what?
How come you act like your mother to this day?
To this day.
Because I stand up and I take care of myself. Because I take care of myself.
So you
I
talk
don't be
big.
whining and going on about what my mother did to me.
You talk
That's
big,
what I do.
but you think like a woman.
No, you think like a woman because I think you gay because you hate women. I think you're gay because you hate women. You hate women,
dumb.
so I think you're gay.
That's a stupid thing. You're the one who hates women.
I don't know you to say nothing
You're
nice
the one who
about
hates
a woman.
women.
Do you have a girlfriend?
It's none of your business. You're the one who hates women.
Oh, wait, you can't answer the question. Do you have a girlfriend?
I said it's none. I answered it. I said it's none of your business.
Don't between your legs and
you hate women. You know why you hate women, William? William.
You hate women.
You know why you hate women?
You hate women. I love women.
That's you.
I love women.
No, you don't.
I've been married for 47 years.
So you really hate women.
Yeah. I've been married.
You really hate your wife.
I got six grandkids, and I got 2 great grandkids.
Have a cookie.
And I ain't had no problem with none
William.
of that. Now, how many do you have?
None.
Then God put man here to multiply?
Maybe.
Huh?
So, William, you hate women.
So where's your problem?
William,
What are you doing? How
William,
many
shut
kids
up.
you have?
Shut up, William.
How many kids
I'm
you
going
have?
to put you on hold if you don't shut up.
And now you shut.
All right. I put him on hold. The reason I say that he hates women is because he thinks it's stupid to go and forgive your mother. He thinks that's dumb. And he votes for Democrats. You have to think like a woman to be a Democrat, to vote for Democrats. Because Democrats support killing babies. That's woman thinking. Democrats support giving the welfare and all that stuff. Even though he never took it, that's nice. I like that old school aspect of William, that he never took the welfare, according to him. But he voted for that mess. You voted for the destruction by way of female-minded thinking, William. So
Hey,
you think
just
you
because
hate
I voted
women?
For the Democrats don't mean that I believe everything they do.
Did you ever forgive your mother?
I never had to forgive my mother.
You
for
never
what?
had
For-
to. See?
No, for what?
Denial.
For what?
Utter denial.
For what?
For what? For thinking like
Yeah.
for being raised to think like a woman and vote for Democrats. And then call in and complain and take underhanded jabs at JLP.
Well, see, that show you where you so dumb at.
Why?
It ain't but one damn party, no way. They got your dumb ass fool.
You
It
can't
ain't but
say
one party.
the A
It ain't
word.
but one party.
Don't say the A word. There's children listening.
All of them are full of shit.
Hey. Goodbye. William, you're out of control. He knows better than that, even though he is old. He's an old-timer, and that's not so bad of a word for the old-timers, I guess, from the South, the blacks. But I had to cut him off. But thank you, William. I appreciate it. Nice call. Nice underhanded, what is that type of, what type of jab is that? Passive-aggressive jab at JLP. Because JLP makes the point that he was not born out of wedlock. JLP was not born out of wedlock because his mother married a different man before he was born, because in those days they had some shame. They had some dignity. They did not think it was cute to be having children and not be married. Even though they knew it was wrong, they knew it was not ideal to not have the father and mother together before you ever had sex. But this phony guy, pretending like he's so holy, never had to forgive his mother. Maybe you got to examine yourself, man. Anyway, I got some super chats to read, but first, let me get to Joe in Phoenix, Arizona. Joe, how are you doing?
Good morning, James.
Morning.
An interesting call.
Yeah, I guess so.
I just want to say, your shirt is perfect. It's very well done, very accurate.
What is that?
Your shirt, your T-shirt, The Great White Hope. I don't know if you know where that phrase comes from, but it was first used to describe Jim Jeffries, the boxer.
Speak up for me. Jim Jeffries, the boxer?
Yeah, Jack London, the writer, first used that phrase to describe Jim Jeffries, the boxer. He was heavyweight champ around the turn of the 20th century.
Uh-huh.
And he was a coward and a bigot and a humiliated loser. So it's a perfect way to describe Trump. So a very accurate shirt. Well done, James.
A coward and a bigot and a loser, calling someone else who is no longer alive a coward and a bigot and a loser, and trying to take a jab at our real president, the courageous Donald J. Trump, who's full of telling the truth.
Perfect T-shirt.
Is rich, very rich, coming from you, Joe.
Very rich coming from you, James.
All right. Nice.
Just wanted to say that. Great T-shirt. Well done.
Yeah, Donald J. Trump is for what's right. Nice talking with you, Joe.
Yeah, have a good day. Bye.
All right, bye. Oh, man. Okay. Let me read a few super chats, guys. There's one line open. Actually, I had some super chats from last week, Wednesday. My last day last week was Wednesday. I didn't stream on Thursday and Friday. And Jared had given me a super chat over there on streamlabs.com/the Hake Report. James, keep doing you, my friend. You know you are on the right path when haters come out of the works. I keep telling people that see everything from an earthly point of view that we are about to witness human beings become like beasts. Stay strong. And he also said, when he said, you know you're on the right path when haters come out of the works, I was like, well, actually, you're not always on the right path when haters come on you, because the hate-filled people also get haters, right? And so he said with another super chat following up, let me clarify. You know you're on the right path when your haters can't figure out why they hate you. Nice. Jesus said, are you able to bear this cup, Peter? What is sharing the cup? It's the sacrifice of this life, the old. New wine needs a new skin. Interesting, Jared. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. And they hate the truth. They hate truth. That's why they come over and have these sneak, passive-aggressive attacks. Grown adult men in their 70s. Passive-aggressive attacks on JLP. Or they'll come and smile in your face and then talk behind your back like mess. Like mess. Snakes. Indeed. They'll be so nice and charming and sweet. Even some Southerners. Terrible. Anyway, thank you, Jared. Appreciate that. Willie Powell with a super chat on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report last week stated, hey, Hake, have a nice trip and enjoy the weather in Florida. Well, thank you. I did. It was quite warm. Quite warm. But I did enjoy the trip. It was nice. And the weather was warm. Bibby McRibby 42 with the super chat states, on a side note, Hake's Build Beard Better plan has been a success. Question, how do you keep food out that bad boy? I'm always getting food stuck in mine. Please give me some advice, and happy birthday, Hake. Well, be a neat eater. Bibby McRibby 42, don't be all messy. And then you can keep it food generally from getting into it. Don't push the food against your face or your beard or your mustache. And then also I keep it trimmed so it doesn't hang down below my upper lip. I don't really like that feeling. I see other people have it hanging down, and I respect it. Sometimes people go like this. I'm sucking in my lips into, like, underneath my teeth. They do that. They go like this. And then you can wash your face. And good luck. I wish you well, Bibby McRibby 42. Super chat from Ledge Klinger over there on Odyssey, ODYSEE.com/@TheHakeReport/live. This Russia-Ukraine exchange is the perfect opportunity for dumb, hippie, peace-loving liberals to face reality. The world always has been and always will be unpeaceful, brutal place, an unpeaceful, brutal place. After AFPAC, do you consider yourself a Groyper? I don't know if I consider myself a Groyper, but I'm definitely Groyper-friendly. The Groypers are the America First crew, the faithful many. They are not few. They are many. They are legion. In a good way, generally. And I appreciate those guys. There's a lot of solid guys over there among the Groypers. Very cool. Very nice. Thank you, Ledge Klinger. So kind of like with the alt-right, I was alt-right friendly. To this day, alt-right friendly.
To this day!
I was talking with that guy, Harrison. I went up and said hi to him. Harrison Smith, who has interviewed JLP on Infowars.com. And he said that it was a shame to give up that name, alt-right. Pretend that was such a bad thing to be alt-right. I agree with him on that. Because it's a nice name. But they pretended, ooh, that just means after Charlottesville, that name became a mess. So people got away from it. Which, it's fine. We have the right to call ourselves whatever we want. Animus with the super chat states, Putin fights not for material things, but because the West crosses spiritual lines. Really? Because these crazy people at the top, in all their sophisticated wickedness, can't see the spiritual aspects anymore. They believe the mess, he said crap, that they set up to deceive people, says Animus. Interesting. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think he said something like U.S.'s empire of lies. There's a lot of lies that are being pushed with this globalist mess. Lines are full, guys. SOBC, Story of the Black Conservative, SOBC, stated, Hey, Hake, did Nick Fuentes talk about his anti-Trump stance? You know what? He did not. In fact, if anything, he was quite positive about Trump. I know that he's had some criticisms of Trump over time here and there, but I don't think that I don't know if he has a particularly anti-Trump stance. At least he would not probably describe it that way. I could be mistaken. But I think last I saw, he much preferred Trump to DeSantis, for example. DeSantis is a little bit more mainstream friendly, more like a politician. I respect both of those guys, but I still lean toward Trump. But no, he did not really talk about that. He talked about a lot of great things. I think that you can probably see it. If it's not on cozy.tv, it probably is still there. I know that a YouTube channel was streaming it with some snakes in the snake pit and other things. So I know SOBC is not for Trump. At last I saw, he was not for Trump because of the vaxx and some other things, I think. Oh, the red flag law thing that he seemed to support. Trump supported the red flag law, which is an anti-Second Amendment thing, which is very not good. And so, yeah, interesting. Ooh, lines are full, guys. Let me get to one more call before I cover this AFPAC thing. Let me get to Jay out of Georgia. Jay, how are you doing? Are you there?
Hi, hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. But I'm hearing my voice come back. Are you on a speakerphone or something?
I wasn't on speakerphone. I had an aux cable plugged in on my phone.
Okay. All right.
I just took it off.
Nice. Appreciate that.
So, yes. I'm a little bit of a newbie here.
Nice.
A noob.
Well, welcome. We love the newbies.
Yes. I'm currently on 95 going north.
Nice.
In Georgia. Yes.
You're
Driving
going north you're going north from where? From Florida?
From Florida, yeah.
From Florida to Georgia, because you can't get too much further south than Georgia.
We're going to the evil eye of the nation.
The evil eye. Why is it called the evil eye?
By the Washington Monument.
Oh,
by the Washington Monument.
Oh, okay, wow.
Like the Eye of Sauron that sticks out.
Yeah, all right.
From there. Yeah.
Cool. So what do you want to talk about?
Yes, I wanted to talk about AFPAC. I went and I talked to you briefly beforehand. It was great to meet you, and I thought AFPAC was amazing.
Yeah, I did too. Very amazing.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to give away whatever you're going to talk about.
No, go for it. Whatever you want to say, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I would say like most of the speakers were really great, and the only person I had a huge problem with was Stu Peters. He was pretty beta.
I'm going to talk about him.
Yeah, I thought he was a little unhinged.
What? Anything in particular that he said or how he acted that made you feel that way?
I think, yeah. Well, first of all, when he went up there with his shirt half unbuttoned, that was bad optics alone. That would have been enough. for me to cancel him.
He was wearing a blazer, but that's true. This young man, Stu Peters, I don't know how old he is.
Right.
He had his shirt unbuttoned, so he was showing some chest.
He's definitely like a middle-aged Gen Xer, I would say.
Yeah, he did seem like a Gen Xer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Almost boomer. Almost.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I had to borrow my friend's tie because I mean I couldn't find any ties at my house when we were about to drive down here. So, but you know, I played the part. You got to play the part, dress the part. And Stu Peters was like, you know, I just thought that was a little bit rude. But then he took it to a whole new level when he just started, you know, actively, you know, insulting Marjorie Taylor Greene, bringing up sour grapes right after she spoke. I mean, I have my, you know, I have my complaints about her speech and you know, stuff she's done in the past, but I mean, it's just, I just think it's very disingenuous what he did to try to, you know, criticize her like right after she spoke. I think he just causes infighting, and that's kind of like his shtick.
Oh, let me tell the people what happened in brief. So at AFPAC, America First Political Action Conference, we met together, had a nice reception type of a thing, and a lot of people were in line for like an hour or two. And then we went in, had dinner, talked amongst ourselves. There were like tables of 10 or so. And then after the dinner and dessert, there were speeches. And Nick Fuentes, who organizes AFPAC, he has the show America First since 2017. And he introduced the first very special unannounced guest, Marjorie Greene. They call her Marjorie Taylor Greene because Taylor's her maiden name, but I call her Marjorie Greene. And that was a nice surprise. I really appreciated her trying to, in her own woman way, trying to fight for the people, the J6 people and others. Yeah, she's played politician, but I appreciated her coming and speaking. And then there were many other speakers, including this man, Stu Peters, who I hadn't really heard of before, but I heard that he was happy and proud to speak at AFPAC. Didn't even take according to him, didn't even take a speaker's fee or whatever because he really believed in it. And he wanted to talk about how tough he was and doesn't care, and he just tells the truth. And so he told what he felt was the truth. And they might have been some true statements about Marjorie Greene, who had just spoken prior. And to me, I was like, it seems a little odd. Maybe it's a little ill-advised because the facts of what he was saying may have been true, but you don't have to do that there. You can take it to her privately or say it on your own show, or you can be gracious about it and say it and also show appreciation for what she's done right, and especially showing her face at AFPAC, knowing that she would catch some hate. So it was a little bit unbalanced in my opinion as well. It may have been outrageous, actually.
It was a little outrageous. I mean, I think the better optics would have been to, instead of like what he was saying is like, you know, and it's part of what the Groypers are about, calling out Con Inc. and calling out regular conservatives, and that's what he was doing. Like, I'm tired of these fake conservatives. I'm tired of Marjorie Taylor Greene. And then, like, he brought up, like, the main point he brought up is that she, I don't know how long ago or whatever, but during Congress, she brought up how it's the Democrats are being hypocritical by giving charity or whatever to illegals, but then not giving that to Black Americans. And he's like, and what about white people? And hey, like, I mean, like,
it's a valid criticism, but it came off as angry. Valid. It came off as angry and bitter, and it was.
Yeah, it definitely did, and kind of petty, very petty. She is, you know, a very well-known politician, a very big politician, and it's an honor to have her there.
Yeah.
And if I would have spoke after her, even though I have some criticisms about it, I would say I love that Marjorie Taylor Greene is here, and this is a great first step.
Yeah.
And we have our disagreements, but we won't talk about them here right now. Let's just be. Everyone was like, the person that we were sitting right next to, he almost he was jumping for joy when she got on, and it was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's her. People were so excited for her, and there was so much hopium in the air and happiness.
Right.
And then a half hour later, he comes on and just has this spirit of anger.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because it was a downer listening to him talk. Even though he tried to give solutions, get your friends together and go to these meetings and stuff like that. It's kind of like the difference between facts and truth. He was saying stuff that maybe all of it's factual. I don't know. Some of it I don't know. But it didn't have love with it.
There was no love. There was a lot of anger in his heart. And I hope he stuck around for JLP's speech. And I'm sorry, I didn't watch the JLP show earlier this morning. So I'm sure he might have talked. Did you guys talk
check
about
it out.
Peters?
Check it out. We talked about it on there. He talked about it in the first hour. And then in the second hour, the experts came in and talked about it as well.
Yeah. I hope Stu watched it because Satan was his daddy.
Yeah, and you can come back from something like that if you just calm down and don't try to fix it. I heard that Nick Fuentes said that he went off and talked about Marjorie Greene to some Daily Beast reporter. You don't go to Daily Beast. They're enemies. They're outright enemies of America. Why would you go to them to talk about someone who's, she's a woman. Yeah, she's politically correct, but she's trying to do what's right. Come on.
She has, we can definitely talk to her about, her weaknesses or what she's getting wrong. But it was a big first step to have her there. During her speech, she came off as pretty boomer conservative, only talking about the Democrats. When she was talking, I was at my table, I was just like, oh, the Democrats and the Tricoms. And, that was kind of her shtick. But, she's not wrong.
She has to work with the people that she has criticized her fellow Republicans, but she has to work with these people too. And it's pretty hard to work with them when she's one of like three people standing up for the J6 people who are being persecuted. So whatever. So anyway.
And I'm sure it's great for her to be in that amazing ballroom with all these people, and I'm sure she talked to people and listened to people and got a little more red pilled. So
maybe so.
But the Stu Peters guy, I think he seems to have this testosterone and this so-called alpha maleism about him, but it was really grounded in anger.
We'll see what happens with him. He's from what he said, it sounded like he used to be just a bounty hunter and wasn't even involved in politics. And then he went
to be a rapper.
He went all into all kinds of other stuff. Yeah, he used to rap too.
Very, very trashy music.
Well, I appreciate it, Jay. It's good to hear from you, man. Have a nice rest of your trip to DC, and be careful up there. It's dangerous up there, so be careful.
I've been there all my life.
I know, but these are bad times for people who are Americans. So I don't know what you're going up to do. I know that there's people heading over there for the trucker convoy. And so be wary, be wise in how you are over there, and watch out. I'm not just talking about the crime. I'm talking about the attack on American patriots. So take care, Jay.
Correct. Okay, God bless.
All right, you as well. Before I get back to calls, guys, I do have Art in Ohio coming up next. Oh, yes. But let me talk about this resounding success. AFPAC III, it reminded me a little bit of the men's conference, Bond Men's Conference, which was also in Orlando, Florida a year ago. Just positive vibes, if you will, to use a liberal word, a liberal IG word, positive vibes. Is that IG, Instagram? So I have a couple of videos that clips of videos that I took at the dinner. Hopefully it's okay for me to play these. I think so. JLP spoke, gave a hat tip to Nicholas J. Fuentes, who is the founder of the America First Political Action Committee or conference or whatever. And before that, though, at this AFPAC dinner on Saturday evening, there was a nice, what would you call this? Sing-song thing. The Star-Spangled Banner. Clip 12A. I just want to show you the people singing and listen. You can hear the energy in the room. It gives you a little feeling about it. And this is how the huge room was with 1,200 people. Just all love. Listen to the Star-Spangled Banner at the dinner. I snuck in a little video of it. Yeah, Jared Taylor was there, everybody. Listen to this. Enjoy. The Love in the Room in Orlando, Florida. AFPAC dinner. What is this? I guess that's the national anthem, right? Here it is. Gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. That's a waiter. Oh, the ramparts we watched. The waiters got involved. So gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting. Gavin McInnes. Hands over their heart. There's Nico. Very nice. And then the racist chant, USA, USA, USA. Isn't that nice? Perfect. There's JLP. Right on. And so after that, Jesse spoke and gave an endorsement of Nicolas J. Fuentes. I guess it's pronounced Nicholas J. Fuentes. He has an H in his name. Nicolas does not. Here's JLP talking about how young Nick is, making it happen at 23. And some of these people in this room are some of the most marginalized. You know, they use the term marginalized for POCs. Nuh-uh. No, they're propped up and pandered to. These people, not so. Here's JLP talking about Nick Fuentes and making it happen, using your talent from God. Listen to this.
It's more amazing, and I'm blown away by, is that Nick is only 23, right? Yes. Just think about that. When the world is trying to stop him, he's doing it himself. If they can do it, we can do it. That's right. We don't need them. Mm-hmm. We need God, and we have the same ability that they have, and even greater. America was built because white men believed that they could do it. They believed in God, and it's still real. And to all you guys, if you don't have any doubt, have faith. We all have to face challenges, but have faith. There's nothing that cannot be done when we truly, truly believe in God. And so of all the things that he has done, the fact that he's 23 and he's white and he's not giving up is really more mind-blowing to me. So when things get rough, you get tough. God is with us. He never want us to back down. Greater is he that's in us than he that's in them. And if you don't doubt, This is just a small example of what we can do. So never give up. I'm impressed with the age more than I am anything else. I really am, man. And he's not afraid to be white. Don't be afraid to be white. It's okay to be white. And when they call you names, don't be affected by words. Because as children of God, sons and daughters of God, we're supposed to overcome the world. We're not supposed to be affected by words. So don't let them call you whatever they want. They're just trying to stop you. They don't have real power. They're only trying to intimidate you. And if they can't intimidate you, they have no authority. Zero. And he's a perfect example of that. These are the guys. This is the anchor baby.
Anchor baby.
This is Chris. He's white. He's like real white. I told him last night, you sound just like Nick. Their voices sound just alike. And I believe it's the same. And this is James. He used to be white, but he's black now. And they have their own shows on the network. It can be done. God is with us. He doesn't care about the color. He cares about the heart. The salvation is of the heart. When you turn the heart from hate to love, there's nothing on earth that can stop you. And he's a perfect example of that. And I'm honored to be a part of that. I really am. So thank you. Thank you.
Wasn't that nice? That's great. So, and by the way, there was a picture of Jesse Wars wearing a pin, a wooden pin of himself. Somebody gave it to me and to Jesse Lee, a picture of his face, and it said amazing underneath. I think I have that picture in my folder. Just in Time gave that to us. Shout out to Just in Time. Can I just show this AFPAC Fun folder? Just kind of show them in like a, what is that thing called? Slideshow thing. I promise I'll get back to calls, guys. Hang tight. But wasn't that nice? JLP, the same in a private dinner setting as he is on air. Just telling the truth, encouraging. That's cool. Commander Kim says, beautiful. I love the tropical shirt. That was Kickflip Galaxy Brain Chris with the, I guess you would call it a Hawaiian shirt. But look at these photos from AFPAC. Some of them I got from online. There's the amazing pin that Just in Time made for us. That's cool, huh? It's like relief sculpture. I don't know how to call this, but it's relief sculpture of JLP's face and kind of burned, so it looks like a photograph, and it says amazing underneath it. And that was a pin. Like, I pinned it to my shirt. JLP pinned it to his jacket. Very cool. And there he is speaking with that pin on. And AFPAC III. What an honor. From CPAC back in 2007 and other times he spoke to AFPAC. Moving on up. Getting it just gets better. The best is yet to come, as Trump said. And look who else spoke at AFPAC III. Sheriff Joe Arpaio, 89 years old, 90 this year. And he is so funny. He's cool. He just speaks from the heart, as he said. Doesn't do prepared speeches. Doesn't read from a teleprompter. And he was the former sheriff of Maricopa County for 24 years. Before that, he worked in like drug administration, drug enforcement or something like that. Worked in South America, worked in like the Middle East, I think. And he talked about Obama's birth certificate, which he called fake. And he gave evidence that, to me, it looked like it's real. It looks like his evidence is real, that Obama's birth certificate, the one that maybe Obama was trolling us, was photoshopped with some other woman who was born the same day in Hawaii. Interesting. Huh. And then Marjorie Greene, the queen. I jokingly call her the queen. I just appreciate her fighting for what's right. You know, I always downplay and diminish these female politicians, right? But I like Michelle Bachmann, and I like Marjorie Greene. I appreciate what she's trying to do. She's standing up for the J6 crew and not disavowing AFPAC. There I am. There's me, Jesse Lee, and Nick Fuentes at the dinner thing. Thumbs up. America first. Very cool. And look at these guys. Look at these Groypers. This is supposedly a white nationalist conference. Tell me if I'm wrong or right. Is Baked Alaska normal white or is he Jewish white? Do you know? I don't know. We don't know. But I think he went to Azusa Pacific University. He used to work for BuzzFeed, used to support Black Lives Matter. Then he became kind of alt-right. Then he started dating Laura Loomer. Then he alienated people. He's just been all over the place. He went into the Capitol building. He got us all demonetized on DLive. But yet he's still supporting America first. So right on to him. There's 3 black guys in this picture. We're all white nationalists. And then, take that. And if they were all white, so what? This is America. That's inside the ballroom, apparently. Very cool picture. Lots of guys. A lot of guys I don't recognize. There's Joel Friday. Well, Joel Friday did not attend in person. We're showing pictures for those in the audio podcast listeners or live audio listeners. But they made some cool, like, B-roll type video of the guest speakers, including Jesse Lee. And they have footage of Jesse Lee Peterson talking with the former board operator, Joel Friday, who trained Kickflip Chris to surpass Joel Friday. Isn't that cool? Seeing Joel Friday on the big screen at AFPAC. That was nice to see. Right on. Some of the most persecuted people at AFPAC, and you can't get them down. Reminds me of Trump. Another persecuted former politician, Steve King, Congressman Steve King, with the experts and Nick Fuentes and Jesse Lee Peterson. Congressman Steve King of Iowa. I talk about him a lot. He was falsely smeared by the New York Slimes, the failing New York Slimes. He shouldn't have taken the interview, he said, but he did it. And he said, white nationalism, white supremacy, Western civilization. How did these things come to be? How did Western civilization come to be a slur, a negative thing? Why were we born and raised and brought up and educated to appreciate America and the Anglos who built America? And now it's a slur, Western civilization. And then they call them a racist, and including the RINOs, and they condemned him. They got rid of him. Shame on them. Vincent James spoke. Real Vincent James. He had a fiery speech. That was cool. Nice to hear him talk. And he was so right about what was going on. Very cool. There were some female politicians, including Lieutenant Governor of Idaho. She came under attack, and Marjorie Greene came under attack. I'm going to talk in the next hour about this attack on Marjorie Greene. The worst people. Pompeo, I didn't know that he was this bad, but I'm not surprised. I had my suspicions, I guess. And I'll get to your calls, too. Mitt Romney attacked Marjorie Greene, and the great Paul Gosar, who also had a brief speech via thing. At least Hake wore a dress shirt and tucked his shirt in. Yeah, I did. What a mess, huh? Shameful. I have a long way to go, right? But anyway, guys, I have some music for you. We are at the top of the hour. And no more Holly Drift. We've been done with Holly Drift for a little bit. But I have a new splash screen. Did you see that? Yeah, that THR Splash 220225 Airplane Clouds. 6 minutes long. I just put it in my in this Monday folder. But this track is from Anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis. I think it's pronounced Anaphylaxis. Which is like I had to look it up. I think it has to do with an allergic reaction where you can't breathe. What a terrible name, huh? But this is Jason Kaufman of Anaphylaxis. This is from the 2005 album Noise for Lovers. That's what it's called. He is a Christian. And this is track 3 on that album. I picked it because it has a beat, okay? It has a beat. The track is titled, This is the Place Where the Dead Help the Living, from Anaphylaxis. Enjoy, guys, and I'll be right back in a few minutes for the rest of hour 2. Enjoy, you musical Philistines. I'm waiting for the bass to stop or to drop, says King Kilo Alpha 1. Hake moonwalks to this. Big Bump says, well, it's not Holly Drift. So is that a step in the right direction? By the way, don't you like these clouds? This is from the shot from the airplane. On the way from, I had to fly through DC, from DC to Orlando, Florida. A dance of clouds. Music from Hake's Burning Man days. I never did that mess. Never, ever. Indian dance. I'd rather scratch my eyes out, says Misty. Whoa. Welcome to Hell soundtrack. Whoa, come on. Sounds like Ukraine air raid sirens. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you bearing with me through that. Let me just double check. Oh, yeah, we got some super chats here before I get back to calls. Single mom doing her best states, with all due respect, Joelle Friday still remains the best audio engineer. Wow. So says single mom doing her best. He is great. Excellent. And he's kind of like, he's like innocent. Anyway, we love Joel. Joel loves us. Animus states, Russia is the last standing old-school European country. Everyone else fell, avoiding responsibility by giving their national authority to EU, European Union, and such, especially Germany. They lost their head about bloodshed of the 20th century, and now it's war. Jib Jab with the super chat. Thank you very much, Jib Jab. Over there on, Jib Jab is commonly over there on twitch.tv/the Hake Report. I think it is. I wonder if am I logged in? Yeah, I think I am. Okay, let me see what I can do, Jib Jab. I appreciate it. Nice to hear from you. Boom. Done. Shout out to Jib Jab. And shout out to the faithful few over there on Facebook, the Facebook crew. Did I miss the messed up music? By messed up, he said a different word. But thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you to SOBC, Animus, Bibby McRibby 42, Jib Jab, Single Mom Doing Her Best, Willie Powell, Jared, and of course, Ledge Klinger over there. And by the way, Fabriettes shared the cozy.tv/AFF replay from the AFPAC event, and I shared it to the live chat. It's there in the. It should be there on every live chat except for the Twitter, because Twitter has become inferior to what it once was when it was Periscope. Very nice. Let me get to, as promised, Art in Ohio, been on hold forever, wants to talk about Russia, Ukraine. What's up, Art? How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm all right. How you doing, Hake?
Doing well. It's great to hear from you.
Hey, I'm all right. And this don't apply to the whites like you or the blacks just like me or maybe even Jesse or whatnot. But what gets me about the Democrats that ain't really Americans and your RINOs and a lot of these people in politics or whatnot that's getting paid for the destruction of America. You're not Americans. No, Americans is me and Hake and Jesse, the people that really care about America. We ain't looking for no payoff to speak up for what's right. And I'm trying to think how I want to say this. Okay, first and foremost, Americans need to be thankful that Russia ain't cut America's lights off.
Yeah.
Because if they shut them lights off, that alone would do away with America. America would kill itself, mutilate itself, self-kill itself, suicide. You're like, why would they do that?
It's kind of happening already, even without Russia's help, really.
Well, no. I'm talking about war.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm talking about, yeah. If they was to cut them lights off, with between us being so dependent on electricity, phones, computer, anything, cars, people would kill themselves because they wouldn't know what to do with themselves.
Interesting point. We're so spoiled, huh?
Females spoiled.
Yeah.
Second of all, and this is a problem that Russia don't have, they don't think everybody's their friend. They don't think that, they have to be a big melting pot to where they got to be inclusive.
Right.
Let every country come into their country. Let all the gays be all open and out and open. So that alone right there, they cut them lights off. You got people that ain't never been adjusted to American society. Guess what they gonna refer back to? Their old country and how they survived in their country, and that's killing, murdering, stealing, and raping. Because they not used to being adjusted to no American society. So yeah, all this stuff that these Democrats and these liberals push, my body, my choice, well, the stuff that y'all pushing is pushing y'all to where y'all about to ain't gonna have no choices about what goes on with y'all's bodies. And y'all ain't gonna have no rights.
True.
Because y'all, you know, and I don't like the big mouth or whatnot, but just like that lady and that dude got killed, I think was that last year when they were shoveling the snow and they was talking, the lady was talking stuff to the dude across the street. He went in the garage and got the gun, came out and killed both of them and on camera in the middle of the street.
Wow.
That's what's going on with it. That's what's going on. You showed the clip on your thing. That's what's going on with America right now. You letting the females and the gays back y'all into the corner to where y'all ain't y'all end up committing suicide. Because Russia's not playing, and Russia knows that America's weak. Because Joe Biden had nuclear planes flying over Russia, Ukraine, or something last week, pump faking Russia like he's gonna do something. And I don't know what man goes to another man and offers them to fight. Then when Russia stands up and be like, let's fight now, Joe Biden and these liberals and even these RINOs, now they talking, hey, let's be friends. You can't be friends after you offered another man to fight and you don't fight him. No. Russia smells blood. They're not playing. This ain't checkers. They're into the business of conquering. That's what men do. Girls talk that stuff and then don't back it up. Liberals talk that stuff and then don't back it up. Then they think that they have a leg to stand on. America don't have no leg to stand on because you don't talk all that mess. Now Russia and I want to see some production. I want to see America get to swinging. Because you don't talk all that, and it ain't got nothing to do with me because I'm not no Democrat and I'm not no liberal. Anything I say, I'm going to back it up. I'm talking about the left. Y'all been talking all this stuff. Now I want y'all to back it up. Because right now you got America looking weak.
Right.
You got us looking real weak. And then another thing, I heard somebody on Frank's speech, don't mean to plug them in. I'm sorry about that, Hake. Don't mean to plug them in or nothing.
Okay.
Talking about, let's get Trump back in there and maybe we can get him to go back over there. Man, Trump ain't about to do nothing. No. Y'all liberals, y'all RINOs, and y'all big mouths over there, y'all don't talk yourself in the corner. Don't be trying to run back to Trump and get him to do nothing. Because Art already said that's what y'all was going to do. No. He ain't got nothing to do with it. Just like Art said, America's going to end up going to war with either China or Russia. And lo and behold, what do you see going on right now? Last thing, and I'm going to get off here because I've been yapping too much. Russia don't want to be y'all's friend.
I know.
Y'all got all this pedophile, y'all thieves, y'all liars, y'all kill babies, y'all don't respect men, and y'all lazy. What in the world would make you think that Russia wants to be y'all's friend? No, nobody want to be your friend. Even the people that you think is your friend ain't your friend. They waiting for America to fall so they can kick you in your ass too. God bless you, Hake.
Well, thank you, Art. I appreciate it. Indeed, we are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, we still run. I don't know what they thinking, but Trump ain't being on no fake stuff. We ain't on no fake stuff, so I don't know what America's going to do. I love America, but I don't know about them, that left side and them RINOs, man. And if you, hey, look, one last thing, too. If you were gay, you're a beta. And any of these females are so-called think that they supporting the conservative and Republican. If you supporting anybody that's gay, that's beta. We need strong alphas. Alphas is conservatives. We don't need, ain't no betas gonna be no conservatives.
Right.
Alphas are conservatives. We stick to the more. God bless you. Like, I'm gone, man. I'll catch you later.
Thank you, Art. Appreciate you. Take care.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Art in Ohio. Putin would never have done this with Trump, says John WX25. And I think that's true. Man, it would be nice to have Trump back, but we deal with it. And like another caller called in from Texas, Bobby, he said he kind of enjoys seeing Biden take these L's, looking silly, looking weak. Some say that he looks tough imposing the sanctions. Somebody was saying, what's sanctions going to do when you get a whole country, though? You get to take over the country. Who said that? I forget who said that. But anyway, man. Hang tight, callers. Dana in South Dakota coming to you next. But let me talk about this MTG situation. Attack on Marjorie Greene from all sides, really. So let me just show some of these pictures and screenshots of different things that have come up with regard to Marjorie Greene, the Queen from Georgia. Is she from Georgia? I think so. A female congressman out of Georgia. She spoke at AFPAC, and that was nice to see. Quite nice to see. I really appreciated that. But I want to show you some of these people bashing her. I saw on Telegram going around there. I follow on Telegram Jesse Lee Peterson on Telegram, JLP Talk, t.me/JLP Talk. I'm on Telegram, t.me/The Hake Report. I don't post too much. And Nick J. Fuentes, I think, is a Telegram. Real Vincent James on there. TKR Official, the Crypto Report. TKR, Crypto with a K. TKR Official on Telegram. And others, Jaden McNeil. It was nice to see Jaden McNeil. That was cool. Over there at this AFPAC thing. America First Political Action Conference 2022, the third annual. But this woman, the MSNBC, was flipping out. They had like 3 different segments as of like yesterday, talking about Marjorie Greene spoke at this white nationalist conference, and one of the female fellow representatives was Susan Wild, and she said that it was horrific. Well, she's horrific. Susan Wild, a Democrat from PA on the Foreign Affairs Committee, and she's supposedly horrified. They played a clip of Nick Fuentes. Look at her. She looks like she belongs staying in that home. It has this American flag, but she's a Democrat. How is a Democrat supporting America? Unless you're one of those old school type of Democrats who don't hate America. They're just whatever. But she's from PA, a female Democrat politician, attacking Marjorie Greene and pretending that it's so bad that we were applauding Russia at AFPAC, even somewhat facetiously, but even maybe not. Who knows? I mean, that's their deal. But she's a phony one and fat, and then she's attacking Marjorie Greene. And then look at this, Mike Pompeo, the Trump Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo. I think he was Secretary of State. And I knew that he was a bit of a rhino. I just had this feeling that he was just an establishment type of a guy. But he tweeted yesterday on a Sunday. Associating with anti-Semitic neo-Nazis is not consistent with the conservative values I have defended for decades. Representative Taylor-Greene playing footsie with Nick Fuentes and his splinter movement is shameful. You're shameful. Lame. That's Mike Pompeo, establishment guy, a Trump so-called Secretary of State guy. No wonder Trump isn't still in the White House with guys with friends like this. What in the world? Anti-Semitic neo-Nazis. Nick Fuentes, the most marginalized American, banned from everything, banned even from flying because he participated in a pro-Trump rally. Stop the Steal. Actually, he was helping lead the Stop the Steal rallies. What a mess, huh? And the phony committee investigating the attack at the Capitol is going after him. They went after Alex Jones. They went after that guy, what's that guy's name? Ali Alexander. They're going after everybody. And then the no-name people, Baked Alaska, and no-name people who, some of them were killed in the chaos. Murdered, some might say. Executed, says what's that politician from Arizona? Paul Gosar said that that female Air Force veteran was executed. He says that by a Capitol Police officer. And this guy's scaremongering about anti-Semitic neo-Nazis, meaning peaceful protesters, peaceful white protesters who don't hate whites, who want the country to remain majority white and stop this attack on the whites. But that's neo-Nazis. Sucker. And they have a picture. Somebody posted a picture of Pompeo with this evil woman, Nikki Haley, whom Trump appointed. He got her out of the country, I think, to be the UN ambassador. Nikki Haley, the former governor of like one of the Carolinas, who got rid of the Confederate battle flag. She got rid of the rebel flag from the state capitol grounds to kiss up to the blacks after a white shot up a black church in her state. And she kissed up to the angry blacks who hate whites and pretend that the rebel flag is something to not proudly fly. The rebel flag is an American flag. These people are anti-American. Phony Pompeo, phony Nikki Haley. Marjorie Greene tweeted, she tweeted a bunch of tweets. But one of her tweets, I saw this on TKR Official on Telegram. The atheist media rep MTG. By the way, her main Twitter was banned from Twitter. She says for telling the truth about the China virus. The atheist media demands no disavowal from left-wing politicians who hang out with jihadis and abortionists. Yeah, exactly. But they demand immediate disavowals from any Republican willing to speak to 1,200 people gathered to declare that Christ is king and brands them only by their sins. And she's saying that, but that's not even a sin to be a white and nationalist. But right on to Marjorie Greene. Stand strong, Queen. And you know who else is going after her? And going after us? Going after we the people? Here's a quote from CNN. CNN quotes this male. Look, there is no place, and I don't have this pictured at all, there is no place in either political party for this white nationalism or racism. It's simply wrong. It's evil as well. I'm making my voice manlier than this guy's voice is. That's so-called Republican Senator Mitt Romney, the carpetbagger to Utah, because he was governor of Massachusetts, a New England state. And then he went to Utah because he's a Mormon. And dare I say it, I like Mormons, but these dumb Mormons voted for Mitt Romney. A RINO. I voted for him twice. I voted for him in the primary in 2008, and then I voted for him in the election in 2012 when he ran against Obama. John McCain became the nominee back in 2008. I'm glad that those guys lost. McCain and Romney lost. And so he's blasting his fellow GOP members who attended a white nationalist event. You can't be white, you can't be nationalist. And those who support Russian President Vladimir Putin. Republican Representatives Marjorie Greene of Georgia and Paul Gosar of Arizona received criticism for speaking at the America First Political Action Conference in Orlando, Florida. A beautiful event. Like I said, it reminded me a lot of the men's conference. Just love and friendliness over there. And good-natured truth-telling. The event was organized by white supremacist Nick Fuentes, who has been banned from most major social media platforms for his white nationalist rhetoric. I'm sorry, I thought this was America. This is not America? I guess not. These people are anti-American. They're the real, commies. Anyway, guys, let me get to Dana in South Dakota. Dana, thank you for holding. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you, Hake?
Doing well as well. Thank you.
I originally called for Joe, but if I'm able to, I'll try to be quick and mention something about the whole Putin-Ukraine mess.
Okay.
But, so basically, I feel like Joe's been calling for so long. He's been married all this time, but he hasn't seemed to change one bit.
You're
He's
talking
literally
about
the same.
Who's been calling?
Joe, the guy who called earlier.
Joe from
I'm not sure
Phoenix.
Is it from Ohio? Okay, yeah, I thought it was from Phoenix. I wasn't sure. I don't think it was from Ohio. So, okay, that's perfect. Anyways, he's been like the same passive-aggressive, bitter beta like this whole time, and it's incredible to me. It's like if he really loved women, he'd realize their mentality is what got us into this mess in the first place, and the reason we're all suffering due to the lack of leadership in which he voted for.
Yeah.
I mean, you were absolutely right. He was being vicious, vindictive, and spiteful, just like a woman scorned.
Right.
Every time he calls, it's like personal text.
Right. He's like, oh, that's appropriate. You called him the Great White Hope. The Great White Hope from that movie was a loser.
Oh, gosh.
What a mess.
And then he tried to say you were gay because you're not a slut maker like he is. And how is that loving women?
Oh, you're talking. I don't think that was. You're talking about William, I think.
It was the guy earlier, whoever the guy was that called in. And
yeah, William
I thought
from
it was
somewhere.
Joe for some reason. But Joe's beta too.
William's a mess.
But yeah, that was incredible. I was like, why? People always assume that someone's gay if they don't want to just be a slut maker and go around and be nasty with everybody.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense.
Typical black liberals.
It really is. And it's like if you have to attack truth tellers with personal attacks and all that passive aggressive mess, it's like you're acting a fool and you literally are a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well be a lesbian at this point because you're pretty much a woman married to another woman.
Yeah, they're gossips, they're snakes, and they'll smile in your face and backstab you.
Yeah.
So
it's
evil.
True though. I had to learn that too because you're absolutely right about gossip. That really sunk in with me, by the way, because you're absolutely right. It's like don't even warrant it with attention at this point. It's just like it doesn't even get anywhere, and at this point, it's a he said, she said, and allegations, which everybody can be accused of something. That's what the whole point of proven beyond a reasonable doubt and being convicted of things is completely different.
Right. I know. Well, thank you, Dana. Nice to hear from you. Well, what did you want to say about Russia?
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, if I could real quick. But,
go for it.
I believe he's invaded because of those U.S.-linked labs in the Ukraine along the border. If you notice, like if you think about how Fauci, like I think Putin invaded them because the U.S. labs, the labs, those bio labs.
Oh, I had not heard about that.
Wuhan, like the whole Wuhan thing, Fauci and the Obama administration invested $2.7 million in the lab in Wuhan. So imagine how much is being invested in the Ukraine labs to develop bioweapons, just like the C virus, which are basically being used to control us at this point.
I had not heard
any of that. The race war didn't work. Religion didn't work. Oh, and another crazy thing, too, is that the labs, like there used to be proof of where the labs were along the Ukraine border, and now the websites are taking down all of the information.
Huh.
I mean, I assume it's because of Putin's attacking them. Because look, that's who he's attacking, isn't it?
From what I understand, there has been like a long-standing issue with Ukraine and with Russia.
That was with the Soviet Union, though.
No, I'm not necessarily talking about the Soviet Union. I'm talking about for the past like 8 years or more, they've been.
Oh, it's true.
They've been having. It's been basically a long time coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, with those whole weapons of mass destruction and all that mess during Obama, and Bush and Obama, which we all know we're in cahoots now. But it was all about bioweapons and funding and creating bioweapons, producing that they can't produce them in our country, so they fund them in other countries.
I don't know. Maybe so. I have no idea. I hadn't heard any of that before.
That's what I've been seeing and hearing. But yeah, definitely, I'll send you some stuff. Then I'll have to send you some stuff that I found because it's crazy. It's like the whole with the whole Hunter scandal and all of that. It's and Zelensky giving out the AKs to the 14-year-olds and stuff. He's arming them but not giving them bullets. Like all of this message is nuts. It doesn't make any sense, and I don't know. I wasn't as quick to condemn Russia because of the propaganda. Propaganda makes me sus. Automatically, I'm just like, okay, something's up here. Something else is up that we don't know. And that was the only thing that made sense because he's attacking what? The biolabs. That's literally who he attacked.
Yeah.
That's what he worked to
I don't
destroy.
know.
And
we'll see what
why.
happens, Dana.
All right, for sure, man.
Good to hear from you.
Have a good one.
All right. Huh. Yeah, I forgot about. Remember Trump wanted Ukraine to help investigate Sleepy Joe Biden? Lots of mess going on. And then there's some Ukrainian people in the deep state. Whatever. Let me get to Eric in Selma, Alabama. Eric, how you doing?
All is well, sir.
Nice. It's great to hear from you.
Yeah, man, I was calling to respond to the AFPAC, the video. I haven't actually seen the event just yet, but I'm gonna watch it later now since I got the link.
Oh, cool. You saw we posted it in the live chat. I'll have to.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I'll have to post that in the. I'll have to post that in my blog posts for today's show. Nice, man.
And I wanted to respond on the video that you shared with Jesse speaking at the dinner. And that was a great speech by him. Amazing. He the same way he is like on live. He the same way, man.
Yeah.
And I also want to give Chris a big shout out because out of everybody that was, out of the crew, he was dressed the best. He was dressed like a movie star, man. Shout out to Chris. I ain't know he had swag like that. Chris is a movie star.
Indeed. Yep.
Yeah, he got swagger.
He's like Tom Cruise, but tall, and he doesn't simp for women. Stand on couches and say yes.
Nah, I don't do all that either.
Yeah.
I ain't jumping through no hoops for no woman.
I know. Nice. Yeah, that's I liked his. He had good attire both nights.
Yeah, he got swagger, man. I seen it. I didn't know he can dress that well. I honestly was shocked. I was like, because he usually keep it simple on the show, just like a black polo shirt or a white polo shirt. He usually keeps it pretty simple. So when I seen him switch it up like that, I was impressed. I'm impressed by your performance, kickflip Chris.
Nice.
You hear me?
He does, indeed.
Yeah. And I want to comment on the Russia thing with Putin. Putin, he just, he putting Russia first, just like Germany did, And these men, they're not wrong by what they're doing. They're conquering. They're not wrong. The only thing may be wrong, their heart may be, heart blackened or whatever, But as far as like their actions, they're not wrong about what they're doing. And people in America, we should be grateful that we live in a great country like this, because ain't nobody coming in here invading us like that, just taking us like that. Only thing really happening, we like killing ourselves, basically.
Yeah.
Destroying ourselves. That's what's going on here. But ain't nobody going to come over here and invade us like over there in these other countries. We pretty protected because we are the greatest country. But we need to stop destroying our own country. Like the men need to stand up, like the women, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I love her. But we need our men to stand up because God sent his only begotten son, not daughter.
Right.
You understand me? And it's a reason that he did that. So the men have to stand up, and these women, they just need to go back to, just stay in the house somewhere, which I love Marjorie Taylor Greene, but the men, we have to stand up. But the men so weak, got women like Marjorie Taylor Greene stronger than them. She's a tough cookie now.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. She's tough. I love her. But we need our men to be the leaders. Because it's not, like Jesse said, it's not in a woman to be a leader, so the men have to stand up.
Yeah.
Like, these women, they tougher than the men. It's like, especially in the black community, man. Lately, I've really been standing up to the women because they, very, masculine and stuff. They, thug women in my family. I be having to tell them, God sent his only begotten son, not daughter. The men got to lead, and they, try to tell me I'm wrong, curse me out, and this and that, but it's not their fault. But that's just all I wanted to say, get it off my chest. And y'all doing y'all thing, man. I'm gonna watch the event later, so I just wanted to shout Chris out for the swagger and shout out to Putin. He just doing his thing. He putting Russia first. He ain't racist or nothing or anything. He ain't doing nothing wrong.
I don't think so either. I haven't seen anything wrong that he's actually done. I could be mistaken. Like you said, we don't know his heart. But
I don't know his heart, but as far as his actions, it's not wrong. That's not even a sin what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's not even a sin. The sin is of the heart.
Yep.
You know, the old laws are done away with, all that commandment stuff. Only laws is, you know, love God with all your soul and all your might and love your neighbor as yourself. And he's definitely not loving his neighbor as himself right now. So, but hey, he still ain't wrong though. You can't be judgmental of these people. So shout out to, I love the Nazis. I love all these people that they try to make it seem like so bad.
Nice.
Because we ain't no better. We know better.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody know better than anybody. Like, dang, come on, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Russia, man. And I like Ukraine president. He's staying and fighting for his country. Oh, that's amazing. That guy's a real president. He kind of like Trump in a way. He's staying and fighting and arming his people. Y'all fight for y'all country, Ukraine. Don't just bow down. Trump gave y'all weapons and all that. You got enough stuff to defend yourself. We paid for, like taxpayers like us, we already paid for them to have weapons. So use them on them. Stand up for your country. Fight for your country. Shout out to the president of Ukraine. Stand and fight for his country. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, right on, Eric. It's great to hear from you. King Drop out of Selma, Alabama.
Yes, sir. It is he who is greater than Solomon. Have a great day, sir.
All right. You as well. Take care. Bye. He mentioned Zelensky, Volodymyr Zelensky, my prior caller, King Drop, Eric from Selma, Alabama. Nick, the anchor baby, states, and he's started to study this stuff. So he's a little lightweight expert, and he is an expert. Heavyweight expert, actually. He says those were old pics of Zelensky wearing his gear. Interesting. But according to the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim, he's all, I don't need a ride, because Biden or the American establishment was offering to take him out, not take him out as in kill him, but to help him evacuate from the country. And he said, no, my family and I are the main target of Russia right now, which I don't know if that's true. I mentioned this in Hake News. But I'm going to stay here and fight it out. And kind of like that, go ahead and run home and cry to mama type of line. Well, right on, I suppose. But I notice that if the Skim is propping you up and the Atlantic, not that the Skim knows anything, or the Atlantic, really. The Atlantic, Megan Garber wrote this article, and the editor headlined it, The Performance of Volodymyr Zelensky's Life. Performance because he is an actor. The Ukrainian president's dispatches from the streets of Kiev. And they spelled it, I learned this from Anchor Baby. When they spell it K-Y-I-V, that's kissing up to Ukraine. It's kind of like spelling anti-hyphen Semitism without the hyphen, all as one word, is kissing up to the Jews who want to be victims. They want to make it all one word. Kiev is rightfully pronounced the Russian spelling, which is K-I-E-V or something like that. But they want to spell it differently. Document his continued presence in the country and serve as missives of solidarity. And it's by this woman, Megan Garber. I don't know who she is, but that was out this morning, February 28th, which is this morning or today. The Atlantic propping up this guy. I'm a little leery. I wonder if he's as courageous as they're saying that he is. But I respect him. I have no reason not to, right? What a mess. And meanwhile, by the way, you guys can call in 888-775-3773. 888-775-3773. Big Bump says it's like capitalizing the letter B in the word black. Yeah, exactly. Kissing up. That's what I learned. That's what I learned from Nicolas, the anchor baby. Follow him. Gorgonzola, I think is his name on Twitter. Yeah. capitalizing the letter B in the word black when it's supposed to be lowercase. It's always been lowercase, but they switched after Georgia, Florida got himself overdosed and dead. With a little too much pressure on his chest. He asked to be laid down on the ground because he couldn't breathe. Now he really couldn't breathe. What a mess. Anyway, let me show you, speaking of kissing up to the blacks, I have a picture of this black female, who's probably not a conservative, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Ketanji Brown Jackson. Biden is going to nominate her to the Supreme Court in the coming weeks, I guess. I suppose that they've announced it. I don't know how they found that out. I didn't really read anything about it other than that this would be the first black woman. This is the end of Black History Month. The first black woman to be nominated or appointed to the Supreme Court if she gets approved. And according to the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim, this woman tried to get rid of Trump's deportation policies. According to The Skim, right? She had an opinion that blocked the Trump administration's deportation policy, but it was reversed by the D.C. Circuit. If the D.C. Circuit reverses Trump's deportation policy, then this woman was just being a phony liberal woman. Typical. Back in 2019, this Ketanji, imagine having a Supreme Court justice, first name Ketanji. That's not an American Supreme Court. I mean, that's like a black woman name, I guess. I don't know where she was from. At least her last name is Jackson. Middle name Brown. That sounds like two last names, though, to me. But she ruled in a dispute between Democrats who control the House of Representatives and the Trump administration over the lawmakers' efforts to subpoena former White House counsel Don McGahn to testify. That was about presidential power. Trump claimed his close advisors, including McGahn, were completely shielded from having to appear before Congress. And she ruled on that thing. She rejected Trump's argument, of course. An evil woman. In 2019, this Ketanji Brown Jackson temporarily blocked the Trump administration's plan to expand the fast-track deportations of here in the country illegally, no matter where they are arrested. The fast-tracked deportations had previously been, this is according to AP, so-called news, far-left outlet. Fast-track deportations had previously largely been limited to people arrested almost immediately after crossing the Mexican border. So she said, you can't deport them that fast. I think that was overturned by the D.C. court. The D.C. Circuit overruled this woman, a black female so-called judge. Liberal. Against Trump, against deporting the illegals. She sided with the public sector labor unions in another case, who challenged a Trump-era rule, made it easier for the government agencies to impose workplace changes. Crazy. So in other words, she's a communist. Evil woman. Ketanji Brown Jackson. What a mess. And you know the Senate has to approve her, right? Ketanji Brown Jackson. A so-called judge. She started out as a public defender, by the way. 51 years old, married to a male, Patrick G. Jackson. 2 children. Parents are brown. Okay, so she's Ketanji Jackson. Her parents she was born brown. Reminds me of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Greene. Shout out to Marjorie Greene. But these people keep their maiden names in their names. Shameful. Born in D.C., raised in Miami, Florida, attended Harvard University. DQ, automatic disqualification, right? You went to Harvard? What a mess. Her parents were, what were her parents? Johnny Brown and Ellery Brown. Why did they name her Ketanji? Why did they name her Ketanji? Somebody tell me. Such an evil person. After high school, Jackson studied government at Harvard University. She performed improv comedy and took classes in drama. You don't need to take classes if you're a black female in drama. Am I right? Also led protests against a student who displayed a Confederate flag from his dorm window. In other words, this woman is anti-American. This black female, anti-American. Graduated magna cum laude, teacher's pet. Am I right? Staff reporter and researcher for Time magazine in the 90s. A sick woman. Got her JD cum laude in 96. Terrible. And she clerked for this Stephen Breyer guy. Stephen Breyer, I don't even think that he's a Christian. What is up with these non-Christians invading our Supreme Court? And this woman, I can't imagine that she's a Christian. Tucker Carlson went after her, too, for something that she said about Rwanda. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll tell you more about her, I'm sure, as the time comes. It's ridiculous. By the way, I'm speaking of non-Christians. I don't even think this Ukrainian president is Christian. Is Ukraine supposed to be a Christian country? I know that Russia is. I know that Putin, I'm supposed to pronounce it Putin, right? Putin, he at least makes a show of being a Christian. If he's not outright really a serious Christian, I think he might be. I don't know. She's related to Paul Ryan by marriage, says Big Bump with the tips. How so? What? Let's see. I don't know. I'll have to look into that one. Oh my gosh, she looks a little bit different. In 2020, she looks like she gained a little bit of weight or something. Doesn't have those cute glasses anymore. At least she looked mildly kind of cute. And skinny, but not so much anymore. But anyway, her sister-in-law married to Paul Ryan's brother, according to Big Bump, who is a very, very reliable source, by the way, I will have you know. So her sister-in-law, meaning her husband's sister, married Paul Ryan's brother? Let me see. Yeah, Paul Ryan's brother. Wow. Paul Ryan, the RINO. Is Paul Ryan Irish? He's a total RINO, though. Whatever he is a shame. Shame. He ran alongside Mitt Romney, and I think that he used to be like a Tea Party guy. Man, a lot of those Tea Party guys turned out to be thumbs down. That's a warning, though. Same thing with anybody who calls himself, say, America First, or calls himself a Christian, or calls himself going to church with Jesse Lee Peterson, or, oh, I love Jesse Lee Peterson. Not all these people are trustworthy. They're snakes. Paul Ryan, a snake. And weak. Yeah. Oh, I have a few other things to get to, guys. Did you hear about this suicide story? There was a young man who went into the Capitol building during the January 6th mostly peaceful Capitol protest. One of the things that Nick Fuentes said in his speech at AFPAC was that he said that it was awesome. And he said that last year, too, in the mainstream media and others. I think they wanted to subpoena him, right? The phony Congress, phony J6 committee, which is probably illegal. It's illegal that they even have a January 6th committee because they don't. It's not bipartisan, or it's against decency anyway. It's a bunch of Democrats and anti-Trump, couple of phony RINO Republicans. The January 6th committee investigating the attack at the Capitol. Give me a break. But they wanted to subpoena Nick Fuentes for saying that January 6th was awesome. And it was awesome. It was perhaps 100,000 people over there protesting Stop the Steal. And there had been many totally peaceful rallies protesting Stop the Steal. Some of the people in D.C. got carried away, right? Ill-advised things. But we love them anyway. And one woman got herself shot and killed. I felt that was unjust. Many of you felt that it was even a murder or an execution. But it was a pathetic cop, black cop, who was an affirmative action cop. He wasn't even fired for leaving his Glock unattended in a bathroom. I don't even think that he was reprimanded, probably. Such phoniness, right? And he said J6 was awesome. But the clampdown came down hard on the American people. And one man was facing these charges. He didn't do it. According to the story that I read in National File, he went into the Capitol building, spent 20 minutes in there. It was after, and I don't know how he entered, but it was after the police opened doors into the Capitol building. You know how they were trying to direct traffic away from the people, right? Away from the politicians. They opened doors and allowed people in, but they still got caught for criminal trespassing and felony obstruction of Congress. Give me a break. What a phony, trumped-up charge, right? And the DOJ, the evil DOJ, the Department of So-Called Justice, which is not about justice, I think they told him that there were more charges coming. And this young man, he ended up killing himself just recently. Terrible story. And I don't know if it was because of that situation. I mean, you got to be strong. You got to bear up under this pressure. And it is major pressure on these people, these American patriots, who some of them may have gotten carried away. Some of them maybe didn't do anything even wrong. But he killed himself. And I read this last two paragraphs or last two sentences or whatever in National File paragraphs. Close to 500 Americans have been charged in connection with the January 6th mostly peaceful Capitol protest, right? The overwhelming majority have not been charged with a violent crime. Though multiple prison sentences have been handed down for nonviolent convictions. And the first conviction and sentencing was this 49-year-old grandma who followed a 72-year-old woman into the building to kind of help watch out for her. Didn't do anything except for parading, trespassing. And so National File goes on and says, this is a stark contrast with the treatment of BLM rioters, Black Lives Matter, scum of the earth, Antifa, scum of the earth, where 90% of charges brought against rioters have been dismissed. And they link to a source for that. The nationwide riots of 2020, the real insurrection, as Jesse Lee calls it, terror attack upon the country, affecting the normal, everyday, real Americans who don't stay paid anyway. They have to actually function in these communities. Their businesses burned down many times. In some cases, they've been killed. Nationwide riots of 2020 cost billions, in property damage and left over 20 dead. And it costs more than that because property damage is one thing, but you also have to function. Now, if you had a riot in your town, what's the likelihood of people, now crime is up and the police have stepped back. Now, how are you going to have a functioning business? People don't want to go to a riot-torn area, do they? Or a crime-ridden area. People don't want to do business in a crime-ridden area. I won't even go down to Denny's on Crenshaw to get my money back. I'm on the phone trying to get my money back. because I placed an order, right? I thought I was ordering it from the Wilshire Denny's, but I got it off the Crenshaw Denny's. No, I'm not going down there. I don't feel safe. And I don't even think that riots really hit Crenshaw, at least not recently. I could be mistaken. Maybe they did. Left over 20 dead, by the way, the BLM riots did. But no, it's so phony. So ridiculous. In the last 5 minutes here, let me talk about this attack on the kids by HHS.gov. I saw this just randomly on Twitter. It was a promoted tweet. HHS, Health and Human Services. It's a part of the government, right? And they put out this tweet, and it states, no matter how old or cute they are, they can still get COVID. And they're promoting getting a vaccine for kids. Now there's a vaccine tailored just for ages 5 to 11. Same protection as an adult vaccine, but in a kid-friendly size. And they have this video that they play with this little girl, I hope that it's a little girl, wearing her mother's high-heeled shoes, like these big old high-heeled shoes, with upbeat acoustic music. Find a vaccine near you, vaccines.gov. And then it's this promoted tweet promoting the vaccination of the children. Ages 5 to 11? And we saw on, what is that guerrilla journalism outlet with that O'Keefe guy? Project Veritas showed somebody from one of these organizations. I forget whether it was a commercial organization or it was the government organization, National Health Service or something. He was talking about, it's not exactly it's not actually an emergency for these kids, these children, probably a boy, says Jake, in 1987, for these children to get the vaccine, the so-called vaccine. It's not. It's, I dare say, possibly ill-advised. And I'm saying possibly because I don't know, right? I don't know. But it does seem to be shenanigans, propaganda. That's propaganda. It's literally propaganda. And it may not be for the best interests of the children. HHS.gov. Not about health. Not about so-called human services. So communist, right? So wrong. Same organization is pushing abortions, by the way. No doubt. Same organization promotes, quote-unquote, safe sex. They don't support morals or actual being healthy. Every now and then they may put out information that's decent. But no. That just made me all the more leery of this virus thing. I mean, the vax push. So phony. It's quite disturbing that they would push, vax the kids, ages 5 to 11. Propaganda, phony propaganda. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you joining me. This has been the Hake Report. Been a few days. TheHakeReport.com. I will put up blog posts for this. I mean, the blog post is already there, but I will fill it out with information, including the link to where if you wanted to see the AFPAC event, you can see all of the speeches, and you can see what you think of them. If this was such a horrible thing for what's-her-name to speak at. She's spoken at worst. She's spoken in the halls of Congress. That's worse. Anyway, guys, thank you, and take care. Adios.